Let's get back to another round of Brewsday Tuesday with DreZ and Big Nate.
Yeah. Oh, poop. That sound, as much as I love the popping of tops and the snapping of cans, popping the cork is just something about it, man.
I'm a big
It's just,
fan.
what a great sound. It is BOOZEDAY Tuesday here on 105.3 The Bear, and we are drinking some whiskeys. We did a first round of pretty standard. You can get it, if you can get it, at your local ABC store, the Blantons and the Basil Hayden's. But now we're going to get some stuff that might be a bit more harder to come by. So I just popped Maker's Mark Cask Strength, which is, of course, Kentucky Straight Bourbon at 110.3 proof. So they're not
55 point something?
1.5.
1.5. Okay.
3 divided by
2.
6. Yeah, 1.5. So 55.15. So yeah, they're not cutting this. They're not doing any of that. This is batch number 1505. We can even meet the markers. Everybody's got little signatures on there and stuff. So what's special about this bottle is I had this. You might even remember last week I mentioned how my brother's bachelor party, we went and did the Bourbon Trail. And that was, oh man. Rick, what year did you get married? I want to say, what year is it now? 2024.
2024.
That might have been like, I don't know, 2015 or something like that.
So 9 years.
Something. Don't quote me on that.
We'll go 9 years.
I can look at my phone and figure it out, I'm sure. But long story short, on the tour, we went to Maker's Mark, and we went to so many distilleries and did a bunch of tastings and everything. And at this place at Maker's, the Cask Strength was my favorite. So that was the one that I decided to pick and choose to do the dipping myself. So when you go to Maker's Mark, you can dip your own bottle. So if you're familiar with Maker's Mark, they have the red wax on the top of the cork. So in the facility, you can actually choose the bottle and then go, and they give you these big, ridiculous gloves and they show you how to dip it in and like kind of swirl it and do the whole thing. So this is a bottle dipped by me a certain amount of years ago. I'm not too sure how many, but I hadn't opened it. I had been saving it, and I'm like, what am I saving this for? So when we were gonna do the the Scotch bourbon thing, I was like, all right, F it. I'm gonna open it. We're gonna take it. So that's why I have been sitting on this bottle for years and years and years.
So I really want to compliment
It's a small bottle too, by the way. This is not a huge Maker's Mark bottle. You know, Makers aren't the biggest bottles anyways, but this one's even smaller. So you should be privileged to get to drink a little bit of this. Because not only have I been sipping on it for a while, but
honestly,
there's not a whole lot to go around.
I kind of thought like one of their people in-house did that wax dipping. So
you like that? It really doesn't look that great.
There's a career opportunity there for you.
It's nothing too fancy.
I've got the Co-Allow Distillery. Look, I don't speak Polynesian. I don't speak Hawaiian. It's a Old Pali Road whiskey, handcrafted in Hawaii at the Oahu, Hawaii distillery. 43% ABV. And you can probably correct me because you've been there and I have not. Co-Allow.
That sounds fine to me, dude.
Fine.
I was there.
Your sister's like, no, that's wrong. He's an idiot.
I did get to go there and whatnot, but man, I never got down the Hawaiian lingo at all. I needed to be there a lot longer.
Well, they put apostrophes where they don't go. Sometimes the apostrophes are backwards.
And I feel like we've discussed this before when we were drinking some of the beers, but the Hawaiian alphabet, I think, only has 16 letters.
Sometimes.
Something like that.
There are like certain letters. Eventually, at a certain point, you're speaking German because like double O's could just be U's. Book, B-U-K. IKEA does it. Old Pally Road is a union of our locally distilled whiskey and a high quality aged American whiskey, hand blended to the perfect proof with a pure Hawaiian water. Locally distilled whiskey and a high quality aged American whiskey. Hawaii is currently removing themselves from the union with this. We hope you enjoy this handcrafted spirit as much as we love making it. And veteran made, which is always, I mean, if I go to fight for the country, I'm gonna move somewhere like Hawaii, and I'm gonna ignore loud ringing sounds in my ears.
Yes. Well, we will ignore. There we go. There we go. So that one obviously came from my sister, although I can't remember. So that she might have gifted that to me, or I have, because I have another bottle of, I'm assuming it's the same distillery for sure. And it's their like kind of moonshine, white lightning sort of a thing. And I can't remember which one I got directly from my sister because I'm assuming she gave me the whiskey. And I think the other one maybe was part of it was Christmas. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but we do these different Christmas gift exchange. So it used to be back in the day when we would get together with all the cousins and aunts and uncles and all that sort of stuff. It would be, you would draw a name and you'd get a gift for Secret Santa.
Yeah.
Typical Secret Santa. A few years back, we shifted and switched to the, I guess, I don't know if it's really, is it the white elephant? See, people call it white elephant.
White elephant's good, nasty Christmas is bad.
Okay.
So white elephant's when you get gifts that like you
good gifts and you do the steal thing and
Yeah.
all that. Although I thought that the white elephant it's actually supposed to be like bad originally. But now they call it nasty Santa, where it's just
Nasty
like
Christmas.
dumb gifts. Okay. So we started
Or Yankee swap.
we started to adopt the white elephant aspect at our Christmas, but there would be a theme to it. So you wouldn't just bring whatever, it would be a different theme each year. So this year's theme is green. So whether that's actually something that is green, it could be something that's like eco-friendly, it could be something that's a different kind of friendly. I don't know, maybe not at Christmas with the family, but you never know. So there's different themes each year. And this year it was made in America. So she brought some booze distilled in Hawaii, although it's about as far away as of American as it can get, but still technically made in America.
Technically made in America. I love themes like that. We've got, like, I'm assuming your sister probably doesn't travel in for Easter.
No,
but
not usually.
I think as soon as my wife turned 21, it was no holds barred. The in-laws, we always do like an Easter dinner, but we would do an Easter egg hunt as well. And so airplane bottles all over the yard.
Hell yeah.
They weren't eggs. You had to just find the airplane bottles.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure there are still some like just hanging out, but stuff like that's just like absolutely perfect. Because then you just reconvene and like, well, I don't like this. You don't like this. You don't like this. And you just swap.
Well, funnily enough, with the Made in America, if I'm not mistaken, my gift to that exchange was I went and got just like a DreZ curated variety 6-pack of craft beers.
Perfect.
Obviously made in America. And I individually wrapped each beer as well as the 6-pack holder. And it was the first one chosen. And that person did not, I mean, I guess, they knew what they were getting into, but they held on to it the whole time. Nobody was going to steal it from them because they like craft beer and everything. So
honestly, I prefer stuff like that. Like just an experience. Like I don't want material things. I want something that like I can get some mileage out of.
I don't know if it was a year. I don't know if we did this one year or if it was just an idea, but consumables has been thrown out as a category. Cause yeah, same thing, when you have enough crap or, case in point, I guess I think that was with the thought of like grandma in mind and stuff. It's like when they're actually just trying to get rid of stuff, they don't want more stuff.
Yep.
You want stuff that you can just consume. So there's a lot of good things we've done. We did Made in America. We did, what else did we do? Ah, what are some other good themes? Come on, you can help me out.
Well, speaking
I'm
recently,
blanking. I've been drinking whiskey.
because I mean, our oldest just turned
In the
5.
kitchen, that was one. That was one.
And the kitchen's a good one.
Yeah.
Our oldest just turned
So, because it could
5.
be food or it could be like, a gadget or whatever.
And everyone was asking me 2 things. What does he need? What does he want? Okay. First of all,
he doesn't need
doesn't
anything.
need anything. Like, he's pretty well covered.
What does he want?
What does he want? Let's gauge that. And what we decided on, and everyone kind of came out in spades, is experiences, snacks. So things like bowling alley gift certificates to go see a movie, but the snack baskets, those are a hit.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good snack basket. If you just kind of give like what you like, people can go and kind of tailor that. I think, I mean,
Are we still talking
This-
for a 5-year-old or are we talking for anybody now?
it,
It probably
it's
goes
what
both
I
ways.
would have wanted.
What I'm going to bring up is the problem is
I wasn't giving him beer, but
well, maybe it'll work better for him because you guys can control. Like if he gets just gifted a bunch of candy or whatever, you're not going to just give it to him and say, hey. But the problem is, if that came to me, that's what it would be like. I would be like a 5-year-old and I would just ingest all this candy within 2 days, and I'm just be like,
he has better restraint than I do.
wow.
It's I don't know where he got it, because
How?
I know his mother doesn't have that restraint.
I remember being that age.
Genuinely, he's like, he'll tell his sister, we can have 2 pieces and then we've got to have dinner.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. It's absolutely absurd. He didn't learn that from me.
That's learned somehow.
I genuinely don't know, because I know like at the school he goes to, they don't give him sugar. So it's purely just his own restraint.
Wow, that is impressive. So I just realized, I mean, I did a light pour because I know that this is very, very high ABV. Again, 110.3 proof. But I want to pour a little bit more in because it's honestly, last time, again, I brought the cast strength makers to Scotland. I remember enjoying it with good old Hank and going, ooh, yeah, because it's got some maybe. But I wanted to. This is going to be one that's going to be really good with a drop or 2 of water. So I'm going to do a little bit of this, and then I'm going to pass this to you because you may or may not want some with yours. I'm not sure.
I do kind of want to try it, but that being said, kind of straight off the bat, during the break, little inside baseball here.
Oh no!
Don't know if you
don't
know
tell him
this.
about that. Don't tell him.
DreZ and I do taste each other's beverages
Oh yeah.
off the air.
The basil did not sit. You didn't like it at all, right?
Yeah, basil
I
would
mean,
have been a 3.
That's what I said. That's
Yeah,
what I gave it.
Was you were spot
You
on. Mike.
recommend that? Yeah. I mean, you concur.
This is delicious. I like this Old Pally Road, and it's an interesting blend. I still am not sure about their verbiage with the.
And I can tell you this: that one would be drop justified because I guarantee you're not seeing that on your average shelf at an APC store around here. That came imported via my sister from Hawaii. So I don't think those get distributed out this way. I could be wrong, but you're probably not going to get your hands on that around here.
I've never even heard of Koalau.
Me neither.
I'm just going to keep saying it until I get it right. Or
I like you said as a question.
Angrily, I learned that from one of our former salespeople. If everything's a question, nobody can ever tell you you're wrong.
That's true. All right. That's fair. That's not a bad way to do it. Not bad at all. So yeah, so I guess we kind of did we maybe allude to it. So your oldest had a birthday this past weekend.
5.
Happy belated. Or when was his actual birthday?
The 6th.
So yeah, so happy belated.
He's 5.
And everything went good, all good. You all had some fun.
I really like where that kid's head is at. If you're ever trying to throw a theme party, I think he's got you covered.
Oh yeah.
Because first of all, it's September. We're not at Halloween yet, and
Well, tell that to Spirit and everybody else.
I'm someone who loves Halloween, but at the right time. He's going with the ministry, every day is Halloween mentality. So Christmas is also acceptable. His birthday party with our family, it was the men had to dress in Halloween gear. The women had to dress in Christmas gear.
Yeah, all right. There's a
It's
theme.
very Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington.
Oh, that's all right. That's cool. I like
so
that.
he put together a theme, figured out what he wanted. The only thing I'm still trying to figure out, for whatever reason, he really wanted cinnamon rolls, and I don't know where that comes from.
I can tell you where that comes from. Christmas morning. Cinnamon rolls is a traditional Christmas morning thing, at least in my household. Y'all don't do that?
No, we always make monkey bread.
That sounds pretty cool too. I'm not going to dog on that, but cinnamon rolls is a very traditional. In my house, we have had cinnamon rolls every Christmas morning since as long as I can remember.
All right.
So
I love cinnamon rolls, so I'm not going to complain. It was just it felt out of place because he never asked for cinnamon rolls. Usually when we make them, no desire, but specifically on his birthday, wanted them.
Okay. Cinnamon rolls and caramel covered apples.
I still don't think he's had one of those. Ever since he's been allowed to eat popcorn, that's been his. And we made some special popcorn.
Best, heck yeah!
Put it in the whirly pop, and then we added some chocolate marshmallows.
That worked out pretty good. It can do all that.
I mean, I've got to clean my whirly pop, but yeah.
I don't know a whirly pop. I'm assuming it's just a popcorn machine.
So it's made by the Amish. You can find them online. I think they're like $20. It's just a popcorn making mechanism, and you crank like you're churning butter.
How does it heat up?
Well, you got to put it in the oven.
You put it in the oven?
In the Amish case, on the stove. In the Amish case, they use it over an open fire. But they're $20, and best way
just kind of keeps it moving.
I feel like I've brought you popcorn from that before. I'm gonna have to do it if I haven't.
I can't remember you ever bringing me popcorn from that, but
It's the absolute best way to have popcorn, but I've completely ruined the seasoning on it.
Well, you might need to sell me on that because I've been trying to figure out and popcorn. So I'm old school in the fact that, well, at least it's old school to me. We did have a popcorn machine when I was a kid, but I remember learning you got a big pot, put some oil in there, 3 kernels in, turn it on high, and once they pop, then you throw the rest in, and then you just start doing a little shake here and there, and that's done. Now, BB wants less oil.
Air popper.
I like the oil because to me, I like to sprinkle the crap on it to give it flavor afterwards, and then the oil helps it to stick. Air popper, what are you talking about?
So air popper does the same thing, but it's convection. I have an air popper that I don't use anymore. This would be less oil. What you do, so there's a container.
Less or zero?
On top. Is she counting butter as an oil?
That's worse than oil, I would guess, in her book.
That's my concern. You don't have to add it.
It will taste better.
You're going to add it. So it just pops it using convection. So it's just hot air blowing on it.
So what I really should probably use is our air fryer to do it without anything.
Definitely, yeah. You can make popcorn.
I feel like I remember trying that and it not going well.
Well, let me bring you our air popper. We'll see how that goes.
The Amish one?
No, that's my whirly pop. That uses a ton of oil. You don't want that.
Okay.
I've got 4 different ways to make popcorn. I take it very seriously. It's why
I'm all about some popcorn, bro.
Why I always hate movie theater popcorn, because it's never right. But essentially it's like a superheated blow dryer.
Mm-hmm.
And you put the kernels in. As they reach temperature, they pop. There's nothing on them. The top container holds your oil, your butter, your seasonings, whatever you want.
So you could just not put anything in there. and just have it
Correct.
just nothingness.
And then you still got your butter, your oil, and then you could dump it on your popcorn.
See, I don't do butter or oil.
That's how I made
just,
popcorn.
I mean, well, no, I guess I use a little oil for that stupid stuff that's it says it's low calories and everything. I'm sure it's just full of chemicals and crap that's terrible for you, but you know, you do it for the flavor.
Popcorn's a pretty healthy snack.
That's what I've
can
always
add a little
thought.
bit of.
Yeah, a little badness to it to make it palatable.
Now I think she's just bullying you.
It's probably what it is. It's probably what it is.
I'll bring
Well,
you my air popper.
all right, we'll give it a go. Either way, it is Boozedday Tuesday. We're rambling about popcorn.
You
That's-
didn't rate that.
what? What, the makers?
Yeah.
Makers is. I'm not wrapping it up. I'm just trying. I just realized I didn't put it in the shot here. Makers is fantastic. This bottle is maybe the best bottle of whiskey that I have in my
Shelf collection,
you could s-
library, archive.
You could say that. Just possession. This cast strength makers is delicious. I do recommend, honestly, I remember this. Maybe it's because I got a little bit lubed up with the Blandons and the Basil Haydens, but even just straight was better than I remember. But you throw in a couple drops and that really does set it off. The cast strength Maker's Mark, I highly, highly recommend if you can get your hands on it, come across it. Go to Makers. I also highly recommend that, man. Doing the tour and all that is very fun. This is great, great bourbon. It gets a 4.75 just because I know there's certain things that are nicer out there. But I tell you what, it's good. Very good.
All around solid. I mean, I like the Kahlua. Not Kahlua. Kolau. I'm excited to try the makers, but Bland's label bottle.
That's your
A
favorite
game.
That,
Bah.
that was it. That was so your blends, your team blends.
I am Team Bland's.
Yeah, I can't dog on that honestly. And if I remember correctly, sorry, Susie Q, but yeah, I remember that whiskey wasn't that amazing. It's not bourbon. I think that was my thing. Was it's not the best, but it's cool.
It's palatable.
And it's a wrap. All right, we got to wrap it up. We got to get some spots in before the end of the hour. That's it. We'll get back to beer, and we won't be slurring as much and talking gibberish and laying out next week. Thank you for bearing with us. I'll see you.